innocent girl. And then she got annihilated by... Well, she kind of annihilated herself. So... but there we go. Anyway, Heroic are going to be on the defending side. They have had mixed results on overpass as of late. I was looking at their recent results on different maps for the vetoes here over at E-League. So anyway, FaZe looking to simply pop heads with numbers, but Snappy will take the advantage for his team. Bomb is moving through Monster as Heroic seem to be well poised for this push.
Yeah, looking really good at the moment onto the bomb side, and the Guardian will be challenging into the water position. Really important to clear this spot. This is a very important duel, and Guardian will win it. Quickly traded, but the space is being created to get that bomb plant, although Modi is on the flank. It's just Nico left now, and he doesn't seem to be aware as to where these CTs are coming from. That does not bode well in his ability to be able to provide a defense here. Although, still looking towards balcony, somewhat convinced perhaps, and there it is. Modi coming in with the flank, and that's the round. Not even a bomb plant, so that's a brilliant retake from Heroic.
Yeah, that's a good start for the CT side. Modi has been a very key player for Heroic in the recent matches that we have seen over at E-League and so on. It was so cool to see him as well. If you think about the history, just at E-League, where he kind of, because of the whole org thing, he kind of just lost his spot there, and then he came back and fought with such power. It must have been really, really nice for them to have such success in those recent weeks. Nico getting his bell rung immediately. Not everyone buys Kevlar with the Deagles once they've lost a pistol run, but they can come in handy, as you just saw.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it really affects you in that first buy round as to like what the utility you can have and so on. And so, FaZe, they are one of those teams where they are going to be really confident that they're going to get huge damage done in a round like this. And so that means that guns will be dropped, guns can be picked up. If you've got that Kevlar as well, you can turn it into a round-winning situation. So definitely think this is a great approach for their team. Doesn't work for every team, but here comes the push into that A site. Already frags coming in from the pistols, doing a really good job here. Rain with another frag towards the truck position, and all of a sudden, exactly what we're talking about. Guns on the ground now collected by the FaZe squad as they get the bomb down, and this is a favorable spot for them.
They all have Kevlar. So this is a difficult push for the CT side. You can see some positioning of these Ts. CTs are separated. No trade fragging potential there. Guardian with a lovely headshot with the UMP, and just too many players left for FaZe. I'm really surprised that Nico went for this full spray through the smoke. I don't know which of the players he may have seen jumping over the smoke, if he saw any of them. Maybe he didn't, but the problem is when you don't know what is around the corner and you spray your entire clip or magazine, I still can't remember which one it is. When you do that, if a player is close to you, then they will have a read on when you're going to have no bullets left, and they will just run and charge you. Obviously, there are situations where you're going to have a second person there and you can use it as a bait, but I would go as far as to say that more often than not, you'll be in a situation where someone will just punish you. So I'm surprised he did that. I think if he doesn't do that, then there's a lot higher chance of him getting a kill there, and maybe they don't lose the round.
Well, we are into precarious times, that's for sure for Heroic, and they're looking for a way into this round, but it's not going to be too easy. They will try to occupy those close range quarters combat.
There you go.
There it is. And that is towards the connector area, but they're not spotting anything there just yet, because FaZe are playing it smart. They're avoiding those spots where the pistols are actually strong.
People often prefer CQB to CQC, but I can't remember what the B stands for. Close quarters...
Battle?
Oh, I don't remember. I'm not sure. Well then, 40 seconds left for FaZe to push, and they still have loads of utility. And you'll see a team like North, for example, in a situation on the CT side. If they're expecting the Ts to play a slow anti-force by anti-eco, then they will have those late game smokes, which when you're charging in, like FaZe still haven't pushed the A side here with 20 seconds left. If there was a smoke, for example, in that long area, then there would be a reasonable chance that they lose the round, depending on how many people are alive. So that's something to look out for. And for those of you at home playing in teams and so on, it's a nice thing to add to your repertoire. Only you see it on rare occasion, but when it's done, by a team or Nico or Force, but it's often done very, very well and causes colossal problems for the people with the money and the guns.
Are you sure you weren't thinking of like a fighting game sort of notation there? QCB, quarter circle back or something?
No.
Okay.
That would be, no, CQ, C, and CQB.
Oh,
not Q.
oh, okay, okay. Well, FaZe off to a pretty good start here. And it's pretty intimidating from Heroic's position. Obviously, as I mentioned, the last time they played this game, or rather this map against FaZe, it was 16-6. And I think they did win one or if not two of the pistol rounds. So that is, there's definitely a lot for them to answer for. And generally, from what I could see as well, Heroic, they have better CT sides than they do T sides. Statistically, that is supported as well. So I'm curious to see whether or not they'll be able to somehow turn this around on the CT side, because it's really difficult when you can't impose yourself on the map, which you must do on the CT side of overpass, and against a team like FaZe, you have to be able to win those crazy individual fights. That's what really surprised me against when Heroic were against SK, is that they were able to win those 1v1s somewhat consistently. Of course, you could argue that maybe we didn't see the prime SK, but still, it's still SK.
It is battle, by the way. CQB, close quarters battle.
Okay.
CQC, close quarters combat. Because Metal Gear Solid used to say CQC, but I think maybe it's region dependent, like in military, if they use B or C.
Oh, I like this. FaZe setting up some grenades here. It's playing these anti-force by rounds, pretty effectively.
It's a nice molly off the APC on the back of the boxes. Definitely one to pick up at home, because that can be quite problematic on the anti-force by anti-eco round. So 5 players alive for Heroic. Do they even push in this situation? Modi, he can keep his UMP, but the rest of them, they don't really want to give up money. However, FaZe all have rifles, so they won't have those big bonuses from the SMGs. But there isn't really, with how little Heroic have to fight with, there isn't much point in trying to get something done here. Snappy can hold on to his Kevlar, got himself an extra 300 as well. And maybe he'll try to pick up a weapon afterwards. Or maybe not, because he's dead. But again, Modi still alive. So Yugi will try to get some bonus money. But it'll be Modi, the sole survivor for Heroic. So it's buy time. Yugi, I assume, will be AWP and no Kevlar. I mean, no helmet, sorry. There we go. So most of the team, well, the grenades are reasonable, but not perfect for Heroic, so I'm curious to see what they will do. Snappy and Nico with the forward spawn, Yugi will join them. If he gets the most forward spawn later on, I do wonder what he'll do with it. But for now, he will be moving with supports around the fountain.
This is such a good counterplay from FaZe. They decided to just go for the straight rush, but it's not working out here. S-Tag doing great work. Modi to support as well. We've seen so many amazing holds from Modi at E-League just recently, and it's actually S-Tag to get the majority of the work done this time. Modi not really needed all that much, and Nico now trying to get done what he can on the exit. Try to get some damage here as Snappy does try to close him down on the flank, but Nico will keep himself breathing for the time being. And his mission, I mean, he does have over a minute to play with, so I was about to say it is, winnable, but Modi will shut him down through the smoke. So, I mean, I'm really surprised that Heroic held that, because that was like the perfect counterplay from FaZe, expecting the aggression towards A, slow rotation. You just jump straight into the B site. There'll only be 2 players there. That is usually going to work out.
Well, we've seen that Heroic's B holds are pretty strong. Snappy, sorry, not Snappy, S-Tag and Modi, in particular Modi, in many rounds. Very, very solid players, so by no means is B a weakness on overpass for Heroic from what we've seen recently. Ooh, Nico almost with the second one there, but guess who? It's Modi once again to hold things down. And Nico's there on his own, not quite pulling rotation. Heroic just holding steadfast. That's a sign of good communication as well. Only one player here, no trade fraggers seen, so just hold your positions. And that will allow Yugi to pick off one player. He may have heard footsteps as well.
Yeah, Yugi, who was the MVP of that series against SK, looking to get more damage done, but the flank comes in. Olofmeister takes out Nico, and that is a problem here because he's got the bomb site and he's very much destabilized that position of Yugi here. He's going to get sandwiched between two players. Olofmeister with the spray. Very good work there from him. A third one from Olofmeister, and that's just going to leave Modi now for Heroic to try to pick up the pieces. Already weakened, however, and now the smoke down as well, adding insult to injury. Definitely not an easy time for him.
Yeah, and they will know that Modi plays B, so they'll expect him to come from these areas. Although there aren't many other places he could come from, in fairness. But just another point that, you know, when you're playing a team or an opponent, you bear in mind where they're playing on a CT side, so you have expectations on rotations. So that's great play from Olofmeister to open up that round for his team. 5 bullet bursts, very very calm from him. And that's going to cause Heroic a lot of problems on their CT side. Their money's not in the right place. They keep losing rounds. They haven't strung any together just yet, so times will be hard. But it's a nice fast play from Nico. You don't often see that. And again, maybe just playing against some timings there. Nico catching the CTs off guard, and he was close to the second kill, but didn't quite get it. Olofmeister, though, does clean up. Credit to Observer Sliggy as well for that nice overhead picture on long.
Yep, I can't wait till we get Sliggy Cam again. I'm sure that's...
Really?
Yeah, I think
Is there something you'd like to tell us?
Yeah, I think we can get Sliggy Cam up and running, so we can see him do his magic live sometime in the future.
You can go and sit with him if you want. I can solo cars.
Might do that. Might do that. Well, I mean, we've got another push coming in here on the connector area, and we talked about how dangerous this can be if the pistols are there, but it's actually Modi with the AK, and he's going to be good for 2. He's so good at these multi-fragging situations. The consistency is kind of eerie, and now Yugi's going to collect one of the AK-47s that Modi was able to claim for the Heroic side. And now FaZe is trying to force their way into B, but there is a sprinkling of Heroic players here towards the sewers area. That's Olofmeister, though, to take down 1, and that will allow the bomb to go down here for FaZe.
Let's see the post-plant positions. Modi slowly moving up. Yugi's got an AK as well, so they've got some more firepower. Snappy, though, he's got to be very, very careful. Olofmeister looking for the flanks. He's in the reds, but it's Snappy who's dead. There we go. Modi with angles on almost 2 players, but can't quite take them down. Yugi's got to be careful with the aim punch. He gets the first kill, 2 on 2. Modi has a kit. They have a Molotov as well. He could force these players off Monster, but goes for short instead. Yugi needs to cover while Modi goes for the defuse. They really need to get on this fast. And there we go. Yugi coming wide now. The Modi's still down. Guardian, though, too good. Snaps Modi as well. It was a nice play from Heroic. They got so far considering what they started with, but Guardian shuts him down, as he often does on the B bomb site of Overpass.
Yeah, that was really nice. I was liking those shots a lot. It's good to see Guardian in this team just because I feel like there was this degree of stagnancy that he was experiencing for quite some time in the various in the iterations of Na'Vi where he was present. And obviously, like, that's, I think, how all the players on FaZe feel. Like, Olofmeister as well, coming from a similar position as Guardian. Either way, we can talk more about that later, as we do get a push there from Connector and to Suez. 4-man push from Heroic, but
No!
Guardian again.
You can't do this, Guardian!
It's getting in there.
You can't do that to people, man! You know, what? Oh, okay, I'll talk about it after the round, about things I learned from Guardian. He's such a sexy beast. Doing things like that. Man!
He's taken now, James. So.
That ain't right. That ain't right, man.
Yeah, it's the aggression from Heroic is interesting as well because it's quite all in many respects because you're taking 4 players there straight away towards Suez, towards Connector. If FaZe are playing fast towards A, then your rotation back into A is really difficult to deal with. And obviously, Guardian really showed exactly how to punish that aggressive play there, got the pick, and then the entire FaZe team was just too far along and the rotation becomes impossible for the CTs. So, I mean, the FaZe have had really good, sort of pacing. Like, the way that they've chosen their pacing has been really well-timed, at least.
Okay, something I want to mention about Guardian's peaks. I'm sure we'll get a replay of that. One thing Guardian that was really funny. Guardian is really smart at peeking into an AWPer situation where he's elevated. So if you're going to shoot him, you're probably going to shoot him in the legs, which I first saw him do on Dust 2 when he's peeking from short towards A. See how he jumps on the fountain? Most people just stand behind the fountain, but he jumps on the fountain. So Yugi's going to be aiming at Guardian's leg, expecting someone's chest to be there. But he does that stuff all the time. It's one of the small things in AWP duels which can entirely make the difference. Getting a pick that early in a round is outstanding stuff for your team. So Guardian is he's a really smart sniper, really good to watch if you want to learn how to be a better sniper yourself. 6-2 in favor of FaZe, and Sniper's been taken away from Heroic, but they are back on the bye.
Yeah, again trying to assert themselves a bit towards short into sewers here, and that's really important. And not as aggressive, but Nico's looking for it. That is very fast onto Modi, and that's a really important kill as well, just because we know how dangerous Modi can be holding that B bomb site. I wonder if that in any sense will allow FaZe to think, hang on, maybe we should think towards B.
Look at the off angle Nico is taking as well. This is, you're not going to be looking for him in this particular position versus all the other positions, and he is just so good at this game. Lovely stuff from him. It was great to watch how he peeked those corners as well before he took down that initial kill. So 2 kills for Nico, and FaZe have not tried to capitalize on this quickly. They've left a bomb in one of the normal bomb drop spots, and they're just seeing what happens, seeing if there's any response from Heroic. But I do wonder where the bomb is going, because now Heroic have been forced into a corner, and they are pressured into taking some aggression. Oh, I don't think Nico has seen Guardian, who is carrying the bomb, and Guardian's definitely seen him. Maybe it's 4x3 issues. And there we go. Olaf Meister takes the information from his teammate, and they haven't seen the bomb now, Heroic.
Yeah, it's really good Counter-Strike, really good fundamentals here from FaZe. Especially because Nico got that really early pick. He was able to be creative in how he was able to get those kills. And then, I mean, he was looking for that because his entire team was looking for that. They got the first pick. Then Heroic is on them to try to take an aggression, try to find out what's going on the map, try to get a kill back, try to somehow get some information as to how to then set themselves up for whatever the push might be from FaZe. But FaZe punished them for looking for that information, and they used that against them to win the round. So just some really good basics from that sense. Good calling. That's what we expect from Carrigan as well. And also, not just Carrigan, from the likes of Nico. Nico's very active. On the old mouse sports, he was the in-game leader, very talkative. As far as like star players go, Nico's definitely one of the more talkative ones.
I have to make a correction. Mr. Lagzy on Twitter corrected me and said Heroic beat North 2-0, but they beat Dignitas 3-0 to make it into ECS League. So apologies for that, for my error there. Thank you very much for the correction. So indeed, it was Dignitas they beat 3-0. 7-2 now. FaZe have Carrigan on the Mac-10. He's someone we haven't spoken about just yet. And his Guardian simply waiting and punishing. Mac-10, not spectacular from that range, but Carrigan's done his job. And they know it's likely to be a B stack. Nico can just hold the angle while I say his teammates move in, but he's just there on his own doing it on his own. See if he's ready for this angle here. One of the tighter ones. Did he spot Snappy? That might be one of those situations where you don't see the player on your screen, but then he pops up on the radar because, if you're looking there, you would have seen him. Either way, Snappy, 1 versus 3, and that will be all she wrote. Guardian with his second kill. Having an AWP on an anti-eco can be quite awkward, but not if you're Guardian.
Yeah, some AWPers just break all the rules. Guardian definitely chief amongst them. 8-2, and FaZe really showing why they have that 89% win rate on this map, which is just really absurd to be so strong on any particular map. And their confidence is obviously really high at the moment. And I think one of the biggest questions with FaZe is about is it a honeymoon period? How long does it last? Some of those dynamics. But again, another good topic of conversation. But as you can see, Heroic once again they know they have to assert themselves on the CT side. They know how to play the CT side of this map. It's just so difficult against FaZe. FaZe have been able to either avoid it entirely or just beat it outright. So that is a problem. And that's a sneaky stuff from Carrigan, but it will not go his way. But it's Guardian coming back in, and he's going to win the round for them, James.
You know what? Even if I'm Modi, I'm not sure. Like, I never question a play Modi makes, but re-peeking Guardian, that's some scary stuff. But you should be able to... actually, I do wonder how much you can spray through the corner of those boxes. Because I remember on older nukes, if you're playing ramp on CT, then you could peek players and then spray through the boxes at the top of the ramp instead of facing the players. There's a guy I used to play for Very Games, Victor's, who used to do that a lot. I used to play matchmaking with him, and he would only play if it was nuke, and just do that, and just wreck people. But anyway, enough nerddom about CS for the time being. Heroic, well, maybe more nerddom down because Heroic are on pistols only. This is not a good half for them.
No, and again, the CT side generally tends to be their better side, and I think you can see why. Just even though you see the scoreline being as it is, it's more about their approach. That they understand the right approach, and the thing is that just FaZe are just a class amongst pretty much everyone on this map. So it's pretty tough. And then once again, they just understand. Okay, we're just going to go for one of those, very quick plays as our anti-eco. That's this is it's either the very fast through monster tunnel or very fast up a long. And sometimes teams add in a delay first before they then go for it, but this was just a very fast round.
So for those of you at home, if you're playing on the T side, like when I play on overpass, I like to take the short B area on both sides of the map, really. But if you're running towards monster or short B on the T side, if the CTs are trying to rush short B, you will hear them running on these wooden planks. So you saw some running around towards the sandbag position from Heroic at the beginning of this round, and FaZe would have heard that, which is why you saw Guardian focusing on the left area. Obviously, he had teammates behind him to cover the right-hand side as well, but they would have had the sound fuse there. Just in case there's any ninja diffusers, FaZe will steal away a few more kills. 10-2, a dominant half from FaZe. And again, Overpass is a map where Heroic don't have the strongest of records, and some people will be like, well, why do they play it then? Well, you can't just, you're not going to get better at the map unless you play it. So it's not always a reason not to play it. And I think a league situation is probably the best time to play maps which aren't necessarily your strongest. For example, when new Nuke came out, NIP picked it in every single match when it wasn't vetoed.
They did that with Train as well.
Yeah, just force yourselves to be good on the map.
I think the NIP as well, they didn't accept not to be good on certain maps. They're like, this is our home in older iterations of the game. It will be our home again. FaZe already with the pick. So good at making these picks happen. So dominant on the map. Nico, however, for Heroic, is now dead. I thought that was quite a nice play, somehow finding himself a blind spot, but Guardian has a sense for it, able to turn around and deal with him. And it's just, they're just getting picked off one by one at this point. You can see this duel from Yugi. Here it's not going too well for him. Eventually taken down by Rain, who had the bomb site, and that's going to be that for the round. 11-2, things looking fairly hopeless so far for Heroic. And I think Overpass is one of their better maps statistically. It's like one of their better maps. It's just, FaZe, man. FaZe are really good at this video game, and this map in particular as well. And they're on the T side as well. Dread to think how things will be on the CT side of FaZe.
Well, perhaps it will be a quick one. By the way, one person you don't see much mention of on FaZe is Roban. Obviously, because he is a sixth man, but he is really awesome. And if you're watching FaZe play on LAN, he is so pumped. He's so hype for the team. It's like he is playing himself. It's like one of the most enjoyable things to watch. And I think he's one of the most enjoyable, like sixth men. One of the most enjoyable coaches to be.
I was about to say.
to have around, because it's so awesome to see how animated he is when his team, when he really cares about the team, and that's great to watch.
Indeed, he's quite the beast. It's always good seeing the coaches getting involved.
What happened to Lil Robert?
I don't know.
Are they related? Is that like his brother or something?
You ruined my segue, James. You ruined my segue. I was about to segue. I was like, it's always good to see those coaches getting involved, and you too at home can get involved. You tweet at us with hashtag ECS4, and your tweet could be featured, if it's awesome, on our stream. And if it is featured, you have a chance to win a Hyper Beast skin. So there is that. If you like skins in the game of Counter-Strike, then that could be for you.
I bought 5 pairs of trainers, also known as sneakers, yesterday. Don't ask. That wasn't the plan.
You have so many problems.
It wasn't the plan. I do. But tweet us your kicks. Why not? Let's see what you guys are rocking. Especially if you have like furry slippers, or like with like monsters on or something. I've always considered getting some of those.
Why not tweet us at Shorts, James?
That is a very interesting Molotov. looks like a difficult one to execute. And I do wonder if it would be followed up with a smoke grenade behind it to just block off that area. You can see, I mean, it's the last round, right? But Heroic, that's a nice nade. Heroic are trying to get aggressive. They're trying to get aggressive and trying to stop FaZe from taking the game away from them before the round even starts. But it hasn't really gone in their favor this time. Nico trying to figure out where people are. No one on the balcony, but I don't think you ever quite believe that no one's on the balcony when you're on a T side. It can be such a problem, but there's a smoke for it. Take it out, and again, FaZe just waiting for a response from Heroic.
Yeah, and this is always going to be really tough. Heroic, they don't want to move a muscle at this point. It's not really too safe to do that. They can make plays towards the A side of the map, but again, it does carry some level of risk. And right now, it probably feels like they've been conditioned out of taking any kind of risk against FaZe because nothing's been really working out for them. And that is interesting because that means FaZe could just do that and the B-bomb side is open. Nico and Guardian just not dropping a beat there, just immediately getting the frags as it's presented to them just once.
Yeah, Nico just left to wreck fools. So strong with the aim, it's mental. 3 on 3, there's a chance for Heroic to take this back. Do they try and force their way through these grenades though? FaZe continue to advance, looking for a double peek while they get the bomb. And then Carrigan will just hold some angles. Rain will successfully plant the bomb. Guardian's been taken down, and olofmeister coming in from the back. He's going to go for the knife as well. Add insult to injury and get a kill just in time to save his teammate. Rain on the low ground. He'll pick off Snappy, and then there goes Nico as well. The CT Nico, the Heroic Nico. No heroes on this half. Only 2 rounds here for Heroic.
And a stunning half from Guardian. He had some really awesome pickoffs, and it's one of those things with Guardian. You know, at one point he was very clearly the best AWPer in the world, and for quite some time. And then there's just this massive drop off, and he had the injury, and then never quite found his place in Na'Vi again. And so it's just really awesome to see some of those performances that we would have expected from him back in that old era, where he was just so consistent, so smart, can do all the crazy super fast shots, the close range shots, just everything. And he's back, man. He seems like he's back.
Smoke is dropping into the site. We can see it. That's exactly what that smoke is for. Helps the bomb plant go down, but you can't plant the bomb if you're all dead. And they are indeed all dead. It looks like this could be a quick one. Nothing but headshots coming out from FaZe. 14-2. And Heroic may not get a chance to show us what they can do on overpass.
Yeah, it's definitely going to leave somewhat of a bad taste in their mouth, especially considering that Heroic just had a game like this. In fact, last time they played FaZe, they got 6 rounds in overpass. So it's definitely going to feel awful to be doing a little bit worse in that sense, but hopefully there is something for them to take away from this.
I think there's something for the people at home to take away from this.
Yeah.
I think this is actually a good demo to watch from FaZe. To again, speaking about Guardian and sniping, I'll just watch his perspective for an entire match. Nico as well, the way he harasses towards the T site, the way he changed his timing, and also olofmeister, from where Nico is now, he threw a nice Molotov towards where his 2 teammates are on the left to force the CTs away from their usual positions. Yugi was posted up with the AWP and some support, but he did good work with the grenade. Anyway, we've got a T push coming in here. So far, so good for these Ts. The numbers game working out for them as well as the CZs. 3 CZ kills. What do FaZe even do in this situation? There's 1 pick from Nico, but do they commit to this?
This is quite horrible for FaZe indeed. And it's quite funny too, because this is exactly how FaZe won their T side round after losing the pistol. They just walked into A with all of pistol Kevlar, and it worked out really well. And there it is. Modi's going to pick up the kill onto olofmeister, and all of a sudden Nico doesn't have any teammates to play off of, and he's just going to try to keep his weapon alive at this point. And it'll be interesting to see, if he does keep his weapon alive, what is going to happen in the next round. Because you could very well expect, with this kind of a scoreline, for FaZe to have some fun. Just go for that force buy, and, well, I mean, they would anyway, just getting reset in this way. Go for the force buys, just do something a bit crazy, a bit funky, and try to take the reins back straight away from Heroic. But, yeah. I don't want to say there's any hope just yet. It's just early days.
There's always hope. There's always hope, Dan. Always, always hope. We have seen too many Hellraisers games to say that the comeback is not possible. 11 rounds a deficit for Heroic. Now, they have one of the more coordinated T-sides. They are enjoyable to watch, but against the likes of FaZe, maybe the CT side will simply impose their will when the buy round comes in. That's something that they have been doing to teams recently, this new lineup, and it starts with a kill from Rain onto S-Tag. Haven't picked up a weapon from it, but 5 versus 4 is a good start.
That's looking pretty handy so far from FaZe. Another kill coming their way as well. Heroic trying to clear out the connector position. They got sewers. That's pretty much all they have on the entire map. And Nico is coming in with that M4 of his. And here comes the engagement. Spots 2 players. Gets taken out by Snappy, but the info's there. They're going to go for the gun. Carrigan lying in wait with the CZ. Oh, he couldn't get the first kill. Could have potentially had 2 there, but all of a sudden everything's just going wrong here. FaZe look like they had the round in the bag. It's Olofmeister to come in from the back now. He picks up a UMP here as he tries to prevent that bomb from going down. He can't do that, and he can't get any additional kills. It's the round for Heroic, but I'm surprised. What was that, like a 5 versus 3?
Even though FaZe lost a round, again, I think this is just what, like, Olofmeister, Guardian, and Nico, I think if I was watching this at home, I would download a demo, just watch all their perspectives. They get the first kill in connector phase, and then you see Olofmeister. He doesn't commit. I mean, he has close quarters advantages there, where he can try to get another kill, but rather than do that, he just goes to the top of the stairs and just tries to shoulder peek and get info and then reposition. He doesn't have to take an engagement there. They have a man advantage, and they can try to abuse that later on. So I think a lot of people will be like, okay, let's try and get another kill here. Let's just hold this position until I die. But he just goes for the info and then tries to mount a better offense later on. So again, I think those kinds of things are really valuable for people at home. You can add a lot of things you're watching to your own game and make smarter decisions. And just watch it and think, like, why has he chosen to do this? And you know, that kind of thing, like watching demos, is so valuable to make you a better player. So I would highly recommend this, despite the dominant scoreline so far.
Yeah, I might, out of all the teams on this map, I might pick Astralis and FaZe for like the 2 sort of sides of it, because I think FaZe do the things that Astralis could improve like very well. Like, they're already very good at that, whereas Astralis are a bit more sort of tight and a bit more consistent. And their team play is very next level. They've got amazing setups and routines. So you get the best of all worlds there. That's, I think, very all-encompassing if you look at both of those teams for this map. And it's funny because Astralis started to go away from that map. They don't feel as confident on it anymore, but they're still very good there. Anyway, this is cool because we get to see Guardian's first aggression with this AWP. And he was absolutely crushing Yugi when Yugi was trying to take those aggressions. As you said, Guardian's like so good at understanding how to play against another AWPer.
So we see Heroic have taken fast presence in that short B area. And again, it's really... Oh, Body, what is he doing here? Oh, this is interesting. They have no idea that he's run through the smoke. We've got blind players on the site, and now more Ts are streaming in. Nico, though, still manages to find a kill through the smoke. Yugi will trade. But I think... Oh, the smokes are causing so many variants, but the teams have essentially swapped positions now.
There's time here to work with. There is good position. Well, actually, the positioning is kind of awkward because of Nico here for Heroic. You can see he's holding down towards Monster. He's going to go down there. That's really important. Now, there's not really that pressure of a flank here for the CTs as they go in for the retake. However, Yugi, understanding how potent that flank could be, is going to reclaim this position, moving in towards the sewers. Actually may catch some of these CTs trying to back away. Looks like he will miss out on that opportunity, though, as Guardian peers in by the balcony, looking to see if he can get any additional damage. But yeah, Heroic able to get their 6th round, and should they pull out one more, then they will have done better than the last time. But I'm sure they want the win. And Yugi will find Rain.
That was a really cool execute from Heroic. Look at the timing as well. Modi running just as that smoke goes off. And I do wonder if they're doing that based on the expectation of the CTs to rotate into positions where Monster is visible, where they're around the pillar, on the site, and so on. And they could be in the water as well, but Modi looks there immediately. So that's really cool, and almost a warning to Heroic. But I'm not even sorry, to FaZe. But I'm not even sure if they realised what was going on there. That said, Nico did turn around to get that kill.
So they actually messed up the Molotov. Sorry to interrupt you there. And Guardian just ran. He sort of like took some damage, but ran past it. And then now saw that the sewers is clear, and now he's rotating towards A. It's because they understand what's going on. That was a really crucial like sort of miss of the Molotov there.
Ooh, Rain has done a good job so far. The CZ not working out this time for Carrigan. don't think he had Kevlar, but it's too late to see now. 3 versus 4. FaZe got to be careful, but you have the map control. Olofmeister, please, those bursts. Nico doesn't land a single point of damage. I don't know if Olofmeister knows the second player is there, but there's a minute on the clock. However, FaZe's Nico is in connector, and he's positioned himself to spot a rotation, which means the remaining players can just sit on the A bomb site and wait for a plant attempt to come in. Heroic moving slowly. No grenades for FaZe, but they've got Guardian and an AWP.
Yeah, Guardian could be causing so many problems. Olofmeister still harassing as well and creating the distraction there. The nades coming in, that will really make life difficult and eventually take down Olofmeister. Snap comes in from Guardian as he tries to buy time here for the flank of Nico, who will be coming in from the A long position. And he could catch, I believe, S-tag there potentially as Guardian tries to rattle shots through the smoke. And Nico now, I think he's given his position away. He has, and that's the end of him. So much potential here in this round for FaZe. And again, that's a very crucial miss of the Molotov. Could have been the end of Heroic.
But it's another round for Heroic, and they will hunt Guardian. Look at the peeking from him. I'm telling you, man, I'm going to watch this demo. Even if you guys don't at home, I'm watching this. This is awesome. This is really cool. So much to learn. But let's not take credit away from Heroic. They are winning the rounds, and they have shown themselves to have some strong executes in the bag. But can they keep FaZe on the back foot? Can they keep them surprised? Innocent girl. And then she got annihilated by... Well, she kind of annihilated herself. So... but there we go. Anyway, Heroic are going to be on the defending side. They have had mixed results on overpass as of late. I was looking at their recent results on different maps for the vetoes here over at E-League. So anyway, FaZe looking to simply pop heads with numbers, but Snappy will take the advantage for his team. Bomb is moving through Monster as Heroic seem to be well poised for this push.
Yeah, looking really good at the moment onto the bomb side, and the Guardian will be challenging into the water position. Really important to clear this spot. This is a very important duel, and Guardian will win it. Quickly traded, but the space is being created to get that bomb plant, although Modi is on the flank. It's just Nico left now, and he doesn't seem to be aware as to where the CTs are coming from. That does not bode well in his ability to be able to provide a defense here. Although, still looking towards balcony, somewhat convinced perhaps, and there it is. Modi coming in with the flank, and that's the round. Not even a bomb plant, so that's a brilliant retake from Heroic.
Yeah, that's a good start for the CT side. Modi has been a very key player for Heroic in the recent matches that we have. Innocent girl. And then she got annihilated by... Well, she kind of annihilated herself. So... but there we go. Anyway, Heroic are going to be on the defending side. They have had mixed results on overpass as of late. I was looking at their recent results on different maps for the vetoes here over at E-League. So anyway, FaZe looking to simply pop heads with numbers, but Snappy will take the advantage for his team. Bomb is moving through Monster as Heroic seem to be well poised for this push.
Yeah, looking really good at the moment onto the bomb side, and the Guardian will be challenging into the water position. Really important to clear this spot. This is a very important duel, and Guardian will win it. Quickly traded, but the space is being created to get that bomb plant, although Modi is on the flank. It's just Nico left now, and he doesn't seem to be aware as to where the CTs are coming from. That does not bode well in his ability to be able to provide a defense here. Although, still looking towards balcony, somewhat convinced perhaps, and there it is. Modi coming in with the flank, and that's the round. Not even a bomb plant, so that's a brilliant retake from Heroic.
Yeah, that's a good start for the CT side. Modi has been a very key player for Heroic in the recent matches that we have seen over at E-League and so on. Innocent girl. And then she got annihilated by... Well, she kind of annihilated herself. So... but there we go. Anyway, Heroic are going to be on the defending side. They have had mixed results on overpass as of late. I was looking at their recent results on different maps for the vetoes here over at E-League. So anyway, FaZe looking to simply pop heads with numbers, but Snappy will take the advantage for his team. Bomb is moving through Monster as Heroic seem to be well poised for this push.
Yeah, looking really good at the moment onto the bomb side, and the Guardian will be challenging into the water position. Really important to clear this spot. This is a very important duel, and Guardian will win it. Quickly traded, but the space has been created to get that bomb plant, although Modi is on the flank. It's just Nico left now, and he doesn't seem to be aware as to where these CTs are coming from. That does not bode well in his ability to be able to provide a defense here. Although, still looking towards balcony, somewhat convinced perhaps, and there it is. Modi coming in with the flank, and that's the round. Not even a bomb plant, so that's a brilliant retake from Heroic.
Yeah, that's a good start for the CT side. Modi has been a very key player for Heroic in the recent matches that we have seen over at E-League and so on. It was so cool to see him as well. If you think about the history, just at E-League, where he kind of, because of the whole org thing, he kind of just lost his spot there, and then he came back and fought with such power. It must have been really, really nice for them to have such success in those recent weeks. Nico getting his bell rung immediately. Not everyone buys Kevlar with the Deagles once they've lost a pistol run, but they can come in handy, as you just saw.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it really affects you in